Le Pen in France, just like Lelon. Isn't that interesting? Le Pen, Lelon, um, got in trouble for stealing money from the voters. Very similar. They held her accountable. It's funny, country in America, they don't hold the scammers responsible, but in other countries, they instantly have a trial, instantly pull them out of action, instantly take away their right to be in elections. Someone starts martial law, arrested, out of office, out of the election. Steals money, removed. No election. Here in America, if you have an insurrection, you're removed. You're out. You cannot be in an election. You cannot be in office. You're jailed. Here in America, we just let it happen. That's because we have corrupt people in high places for entertainment purposes only, but it's true. So Marie Le Pen was stealing people's money and has been convicted and sentenced to 4 years and can't run for office for at least 4 years. So why don't we do that here? Now, Leland is upset and he's saying that it's wrong what they did to her. Well, no, it's wrong that they're not doing it to him. It's wrong they're not holding him and Trump accountable. And we could today, this very day, this very moment, do what France just did. I believe it's France. And hold Leland and Trump accountable, remove them both from positions of power, arrest them, and keep them out of office, and not allow them to be on any ballots. We could do that right now. We could, we should. Um, okay, so more about Leland real quick. His one of his baby mamas is selling her Tesla, claiming that she needs money because he's not sending her child support anymore and won't even talk to her. Now, what does that mean? Does Leland not have personal funds? I don't think that he's really ever had much money. He has everything in property and cars and satellites and things and crypto, which connects to the country with R. Um, so what crypto is. So that's interesting. I found that very interesting that she's saying that one, he's not paying. So he has all these kids and he has them designed and in vitro. He doesn't actually have sex. Like someone said, he's a virgin. I doubt he's a virgin. None of my business. But he's not really having sex with these women. He's just fertilizing them in vitro. And also, they are Gucci babies because he has them designed to be only boys. Now, so that's interesting. That's something that's going to come up to hurt him. And the other thing is, where's X? Where's little X? He's not been around lately, which is good because no kid should be in that environment. I feel like a couple things happened. X himself had a breakdown and said, I want my mommy, which any little kid would do after a while. After a while, you'd get really sick of being in airplanes and waiting around Oval Office and Mar-a-Lago and all that. And also, so I think that he finally said, I want my mom. Or the mom said, I want my kid. But I also think that 45 himself, who is really like a big kid, and so is Leland. Leland's like a big kid too. They're both just big kids. And I feel like 45 said, man, I'm glad that you helped me with the election, but and I'll put up with so much, but I can't with kids. He really, it's like a marriage. He said, I can't do it. I can't babysit because I think that he was babysitting for Leland, and he said, I can't do this because he's always had the women, right? And so yeah, I think that Trump himself, I feel like Trump himself told Leland, I ain't babysitting your kid. And so then it just naturally happened. The kid said, I want my mommy, and he sent it back to the mom. One of the moms. I'm not sure which one it is. So, I need to get the whole info on this, but I was reading a report this morning about Elon Musk's grandfather. Now, his mom is kind of wacko and very privileged, white, seems that she spouts Nazi and racist for entertainment purpose only rhetoric, and he was raised in South Africa. Now her father, Levon's grandfather, was batshit crazy conspiracy theorist and wrote books about tech this techno group he tried to start in Canada. And a lot of what you see, and then it said a whole bunch of racist stuff and Nazi stuff down in South Africa, and just a lot of crazy, crazy stuff. Kept trying to overthrow governments. I'm gonna post it on my page. And when I read it, I was like, this makes absolute sense. And Leland himself looks just like his grandfather, looks and acts just like him. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. There's definitely something about that. There's a connection. Either he was reincarnated or he just has embraced his grandfather's crazy, crazy ideals. I mean, you could go read the books. There's a whole bunch of books. What's interesting was at first his grandfather was against government trying to take over Canada and Greenland. So this is like a theme that keeps repeating with these people. And then he embraced it, and then he became like Leland, embraced fascist ideals and taking money from people and trying to take away people's social security and believing that people should only work for like 20 years and then before and after live off the government and then back and forth. Just all these weird theories. Yeah, I'm gonna post the screenshots that I took. Hello, hi Delia. I'm good. How are you doing? I'm on here just rambling. I've took these notes and I'm on here rambling with this crazy news. I feel like it's my duty just to relay all the hits I've gotten and all the information what's going on. I'd like to keep people awake to the information because a lot of people still don't know what's going on. But I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well myself. It's a beautiful day here. I can show you. We have blossoms. Everything's in bloom. The grass is growing, which is good and bad. But yeah, the clouds are out. It's a beautiful day today. It's really pretty. I'm just sitting here. Glad to see you. That's good. It's spring has sprung for sure. I can't believe I already almost have to mow, and I hate mowing. I'll admit it, I hate mowing. But I'm glad you're here. And yeah, I'm talking about Leland, and I think you said you're from Canada because I believe Fatima said that you guys are all from Canada. And I really, I don't think any way possible that Donald Trump, could ever, in his wildest dreams, invade and take over Canada and or Greenland. And I was just saying how Elon Musk, his grandfather, spouted the same crazy crap about Greenland and Canada. And it's interesting. Very interesting. Blessings. Hi, Fatima. Blessings to you too. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you here. Happy Monday. We're almost in April, and I think tomorrow is Jamie's birthday or Roger's birthday. But no tricks, no tricks on him, and hopefully no tricks on us in the world. You know, we've got through the Ides of March, and we really did 45 really with that signal gate. I've heard that people in England heard about 45 using a faulty app to communicate war secrets, and they just think he's the biggest buffoon. Well, welcome to our world. We've dealt with this buffoon for over a decade now, and I'm just glad that everyone can finally see what we've been going through. Although I'm sorry that he keeps threatening Canada and Greenland and the Panama Canal and all. And then people talk about how he's trying to become Commonwealth with England. And you know the thing about Donald Trump and England is he thinks that everyone's like Princess Diana. I was just so soft and everyone, I just want you to know that I love you. And what he doesn't know that in England, people think he's shite, and they'll tell him so. They think he's a bloody shite. You know, the thing about the name Trump is it means gaseous idiot, right? It means gas. It means gas in England. And my God, here in America, it's a joke, but it's also quite serious. But you know, okay, back to the original thought was that I've never seen him able to just take over Canada. I've never seen him taking over Greenland. And they don't want him to. We And America don't want him to do this. We love you guys. We love your country. We don't want him to do these things. He's an out of control toddler that no one will say no to, and so is Leland. And our military really took an oath to not do things like to not follow orders like that because Canada, because Greenland, because European countries, they're our allies, and we don't invade our allies. I do feel this is all from Vladimir, you know who, but no, I don't see it happening. And I think that I think he already knows. I feel like 45 already knows that it's not going to happen, and he's going to back off the topic. So I actually feel like it's going to get a lot better in that respect. But then here in America, we'll be the target again. But we're used to it, you know. So I'll keep going here. I talked about Leland and his crazy grandfather. I'm going to post all the information. Here's something Spirit told me. I was at work yesterday, and Spirit was showing me the ego, and which is our lower chakras, and how 45, our lower chakras are bright red and orange, like fire, anger. You see MAGA is like red, the colors are red, and a lot of fascism has that red hot. Um, it's anger and greed and revenge, and what did I write down here? What did I write down? Arrogance and pride, lying, stealing, gluttony. Those are the lower chakras, and our lower chakras are like they chained to the earth, and so they can be good because you can draw in that beautiful earth energy, but also they chain you to the earth, so you're not stepping into the higher realms of heaven or your higher self, God, the angels, the divine love and light, because you're always chained to this lower, you're chained to the earth, you're chained to your ego. And Spirit said to me, everyone has an ego, and many of them are full of shit. That's what they said. In gross imagery, but that's what they said. And then something about the image, and it's so gross, but it's true. Very good imagery to help explain that it's like the earth is our toilet, and then our lower chakras, our ego, when it's full of all of this and we don't cleanse it, the earth can help be like a toilet, and we just like drain all of that energy down into the earth, and we draw up the beautiful earth energy that cleanses, and then we go up to our higher chakras, and the angelic realm pours in, and our higher self, our true self, our God, pours the light and the water and the cleansing down, and we're cleansed, and we're constantly in this, like our physical body, taking in, drinking, eating, cleansing, and then releasing. But when people are always stuck in their lower chakra, chained down there, heavy to ascend, too heavy, and they're toxic because it's all in there. That's what 45 and on all of them are. That's why, you try to talk to these people, you try to talk to the MAGA people and the far right, racist, Nazi, fascist, and they're so chained down there. They're stuck, and they're not receiving all the good cleansing the toxicity out. So let's see, whatever. Everyone has an ego. Many are full of shit, for lack of a better term. I hope my phone doesn't die. If it does, I'll come back later. You need to pour that clear essence of spirit into your body and your spirit, and you will stay balanced. Um, anyway, also when we pass on, you want to be light. That's why I have this theory that when you see a lot of older people and they have all the silver hair, right? And they're lighter. They're not dark and as colorful. Their hair's not dark. Their skin's not as rosy. Everything sort of fades. And so we look like, as we get older, we're all going to get older, and we start to look sort of faded in a way. But we're taking in that higher energy because we're getting ready to pass on to the other side, which is a much higher energy, much higher frequency, and we're letting go of that lower earth energy. And so, but we're lighter. We're like a balloon that's lighter, and we're like a bowl of water that's clearer. I speak so symbolically, it's hard. I know I can be very confusing sometimes with these things, but I hope you understand that as we get older and we start to connect more to the other side, we start to look like angels and light beings, if are like almost like aliens in a way, like light-filled aliens, and less like humans of the earth. Look at 45. He's always trying to hide all his, he puts on the heavy orange makeup. Now, what's that about? What is that about? I have a theory, well, that he has syphilis and he covers up his sores, but also he he's so afraid of not looking young that he's constantly covering it with the heavy dark makeup and the hair and the shoe lifts and the but he looks like a clown. He ends up looking like a clown. Also, I think he has body doubles, and it works that if they all put on that orange makeup and the suit and the hair, you can't tell. Kind of like Uten has body doubles, and you can't tell as much because it's just like they've had plastic surgery and all that. But with 45, if you plaster on orange makeup and put on a suit, they all kind of look alike, and nobody notices. And I do think that 45 has body doubles. And I think that Uten, that they almost took out him the other night in that limo and they actually got a body double. That's my conspiracy theory. Anyway, moving on. Any questions? April, I'll go on, but ask a question if you have any. April 5th marches. Here in America, we're going to have these marches on April 5th, next Saturday. Now, they could be dangerous. We're asking that people who have an ethnicity not to show up because we don't want them to be taken by the authorities and we don't want to have a trap. And one thing that we're saying is make sure your phone is on airplane mode so it's not discoverable. Make sure you have your Find My iPhone off. Don't have face recognition on because they could use it to open your phone by using your face or your fingerprint. So, but the best thing would be to have a burner phone or no phone or put it in airplane mode so it's not discoverable. So let's say you have it in a backpack, they can't discover it. Okay, let me see what's next. We have to have these marches, and I'll tell you why. I've always seen that before MAGA and all this stuff Trump goes, that everybody has to finally come together, like in the book, The Who of Whoville, in the Dr. Seuss book, and they had to get the last person in Whoville come out and bang their pots and pans and speak out. And when that last person came out and made noise, they reclaimed Whoville again and saved their society. Now, I believe that Dr. Seuss probably had some communist ideals or socialistic, what have you, but mostly he was against fascism because there was a time, when Hitler was in charge. But it's true. That's what we have to do. Everybody has to come out of hiding and come together and speak up for humanity and speak out against 45 and what he's doing and make noise. And I remember when we had all these school shootings and we all went to the March for Life rally, it made a difference. I noticed that afterwards there was much less gun violence. I don't know why. I don't know if it's energetic, but it does something. And so we really do need to all get out there and make our voices heard. We have to. I think we all just thought that we would go through our life and the Constitution would hold together for us, which it should have. We all thought that it was like cement, but the truth is it must have had a lot of holes in it. But also I feel like there must be a lot of people, a lot of Democrats in high places who just are weak. I don't want to say they're corrupt, but I feel like they must be, they're just weak. And you can't be weak in this situation. You can't be. So, and I'll say this, I've noticed that after the election, some readers got scared and they erased everything, right? And they went into hiding and then they won't talk about politics anymore. And I think, I understand that. I understand that. But I also feel like, we're here to help each other out and warn each other. And I trust my guides and angels, and I also believe that silence is complacency, and pretending that it's okay helps the enemy. And it's like that whole thing of, if you have a friend that says the gym teacher is molesting her for entertainment purposes only, this is story, not fact here. I'm just relaying a story of what if. So if you have a friend who's being abused, let's say that, and you go, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then you don't help her, you're helping the enemy. You're helping the enemy. If you're not helping the victim, if you're not helping the one who's being victimized, you're helping the enemy. So, and the truth, that's the thing about the truth. When you speak the truth, it's amazing what the truth does. The truth really is like bleach on the enemies, on abuse. Truth is bleach on abuse. So when we go to these rallies, when we come on here on our channels and we speak the truth, um, I feel like it's necessary, and it really does have an impact. And in 1940, 1930s Germany and Europe, it was when people were afraid to speak. That's how evil took over. And see, and that's the thing. I don't think in America that you could even have. See, that's what's stupid about 45 and all of this. He thought that America was gullible, and they kept trying to say, don't be woke," because they didn't want us to know what was going on. We're pretty smart here in America, and we may not sound like it most of the time, but we're pretty smart, and we know what's right and wrong. We know what's healthy and unhealthy. And, they make a mistake thinking that we're all just going to lie over and take it. Just like with Greenland, look how when JD Vance went over there and they were like, nope. They 45 and his people think that everyone is just a victim. Not anymore. That's not going to happen. And the world, America and the world are just not going to lie over and take it anymore. I think my daughter's home.